How do I navigate life's difficult moments? For many of us, these past year or year and a half, almost 2 years, has been very difficult in a number of ways. All of us will walk out of this time with a story of what it's like to be experiencing and navigating a difficult time for the world with the pandemic. And we're still in that moment. So, what is it like to navigate life's difficult moments? If you are a person that is in the middle of a difficult moment, one of the things I like to say to you is that we must recognize that whenever we are in a difficult moment, it doesn't matter when it always feels like this is probably the worst moment I am ever encountering or the worst time I am ever experiencing. It always feels and seems so hard, so difficult, and it causes us sometimes to question whether we will make it through it. And so difficult moments come, and when they are here, there's such a big focus in our life that all we can see is that difficult moment. All we can see is what's going on in that moment. And sometimes it clouds our vision. So if you are walking through or trying to navigate a moment right now in your life that is difficult, I want you to ask yourself 4 questions. Ask yourself 4 questions. Question number one: is this the first difficult moment I have ever experienced? I want you to think about that. Is this the first difficult moment you've ever gone through? It's one of those questions where it causes us to actually give thought to our life, actually think about the things that we may or may not have experienced over the course of our entire life. This question helps to bring perspective into our situation and our circumstance that we are currently walking through. The next question I want you to ask yourself is, if this is not my first difficult moment, what were some of the difficult times in my life that I have experienced in my past? Here, you want to actually start taking an inventory of some of the things that you have experienced in your lifetime. This is a place of remembering. And so sometimes when you're walking through a difficult time, it is good to remember the things that you have walked through and experienced in your past. So this is a question where it requires you to take inventory of your life and to look at those things that you have experienced, that you went through, that were difficult when you walked through them. We have to remember what it is that we have walked through in our past in order to help us in the midst of something that we are walking through right now. So question number 2 says, what were some of the difficult moments that I have been through in my life? The third question is my current situation more difficult than those of my past? Is my current situation more difficult than those in my past? Now we're doing a comparison where we're comparing things that we've been through versus what we're experiencing right now. It is a great place to do a reflection. Let me reflect about the things that I have been through before and reflect on the things that I'm going through right now and ask myself the question, is what I'm dealing with right now much more difficult than what I had in my past? And the fourth question says, this is the number one question: did I make it through my past difficult moments? Sometimes you have to repeat a question, and this is one of those. Throughout life, you will encounter difficult moments, and we have to sometimes ask ourselves this question over and over and over and over again. And it enabled us to be able to move through what we're experiencing right now. The question of whether or not I made it through my past difficult moments is so important what that answer is, because it is also the encouragement for where you are right now. If you have an answer to that question and your answer is yes, I have survived my difficult moments in the past. Yes, I have made it through those times that were rough in the past. It's good to ask yourself this question because you need to think about it when you're walking through a difficult moment. Remember, I said sometimes these moments cloud our vision, and they often make us forget that we have gone through difficult things before. And guess what? We have made it through it. And that even though it was hard and it felt so hard in that moment, we actually can do an inventory of our life and a track record and see that there were difficult moments, some of them sometimes even more difficult than what I'm walking through right now. And guess what? I made it through it. And so you got to know that in today's difficult time, in today's difficult moment, there are things that we made it through that were much harder than what we are experiencing right now. And if you overcame and you survived things in the past that were much more difficult or were difficult to walk through in general, you will make it through this difficult moment as well. Sometimes we have to remember what it is that we have gone through in life in order to be able to navigate and endure our present situation. So I want you to ask yourself those questions. If you are in the midst of a troubled time right now, and I'll repeat them to you, ask yourself, is this my first time going through a difficult moment in my life? Ask yourself, what were some of those other difficult moments of my life? Ask yourself, is my current situation more difficult than the things of my past? And lastly, did I make it through my past difficult moments? You and I will make it through whatever it is that we are encountering right now, whatever it is that we are walking through right now. If we only remember where we came from and how we overcame even in the most difficult times. Every time you have a difficult moment, it definitely feels so big. It definitely clouds your vision. It's all we can see, think about, and it's like it's all around us. But that's what it's meant to do, to cloud your mind. But if you ever need a good perspective, if you ever need a relief from this feeling of burden, what you should start doing is taking an inventory of your life. Start remembering your life. Think about those times where you made it through before, because it will be the encouragement you need to make it through right now. Be encouraged. Thank you so much for watching Podiums and Platforms. I pray that you will tune in to the next one. But I just want to let you know that no matter what you are going through, you will get through this. Take care.